So the short answer is yes. The US dollar is losing its dominant status in the world as a world reserve currency. Are you paying attention to all of this? You really need to. All right, this is a really important video. Please stick around. All right, so let's get to it. This is the Hey Ed YouTube channel, and I am your host, moderator, and all-around nice guy, Edward Anderson. And today's video is a response to a question that I got from one of my viewers asking me whether that the US dollar was losing its dominant status as the world reserve currency in the world. And the short answer is yes. Now, just 10 years ago, the US dollar represented 72% of the currencies held by the world central banks as reserves. Today, that number is down to 59%. And it's going down more and more. And there are some very real reasons why. And there are some very real consequences to all of us. Now, this is one of those videos where I spent a few days pulling up all sorts of facts and figures and a long history about the US dollar. But you know what? I've done other videos on the US dollar where I covered all this material before. And if you want to, you can go back and watch those. Right now, I just want to kind of get to the point. I want to connect the dots and just kind of talk about the end result, okay? Now, for the past 75 years, the US dollar has enjoyed the status of the world's reserve currency. And that has made America the big dog in the world, okay? Now, we are right now the last superpower in the world. So for 75 years, we've been able to use our dollar to gather a lot of wealth and to extend our power, extend our influence throughout the world. Now, the single biggest driving force behind the power of the US dollar for the past 75 years has been the petrodollar. Now, in the mid-70s, we struck a deal with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia saying, you know what, we will protect you in your region and we'll give you all sorts of military, financial aid, and we'll protect you. In exchange for that, we want you to conduct all of your oil transactions in the US dollar. Okay, and it didn't just extend to Saudi Arabia. Anybody who wanted to buy or sell oil in the world would do so using US dollars. And that made us, all by itself, the most powerful country in the world. Now, there have been a string of events in just the past few years that has jeopardized our role as the world's reserve currency. And one of the biggest ones, an earthquake of an event, was a couple of weeks ago when Saudi Arabia struck a deal with China that they would sell their oil to China in the form of yuan instead of the US dollar. And then last week, just an earthquake event that was not reported in the mainstream media. But I'm going to tell you about it here. So President Xi of China visited Moscow and visited Putin, and they signed 14 separate agreements, most of them related to trade and the use of settling oil transactions, Russian oil transactions in Chinese yuan. And that's a good segue into the next big attack on the US dollar. There is a war going on. World War III is underway. Even if the bullets aren't flying, the economic war is well underway. So a group of countries, they're called the BRICS company, right? BRICS. That's an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, plus at least 6 other countries throughout the world. And other countries throughout the world are lining up to join the BRICS coalition. And what they want to do is they want to settle international trade in their own currencies or in a currency that they get together and develop themselves. So right now, it's basically coming down to the United States, Canada, UK, and maybe a few other Western countries against the rest of the world. So 50% of the world population is represented in the BRICS coalition. This is where hyperinflation is going to be kicking in. All right. When you have all of these US dollars sitting in the banks, in the central banks of all these foreign countries, and they decide they don't need them anymore in order to conduct business, and they start flexing their own independence, they want to get away from the United States being a bully, they're going to start sending these US dollars back to our shores. And that tidal wave is going to cause hyperinflation, because that's the definition of inflation. That's why inflation has been so rampant the past year and a half or so, is because with all of this money printing that's been going on during this worldwide flu thing that we happened, I mean, if you look at the M1 chart, which I've shown you many times, 40% of all US currencies in existence were created in just a year and a half time frame. That's it, 40%. Listen, don't be really impressed with some guy who says he's the chairman of the Federal Reserve. Okay? They are either really incompetent or they are trying to diminish the buying power of the US dollar by design. And there's a good argument for that. And I've covered that in other videos. But let's not go down that road too much. All right, so hyperinflation. As these other countries start selling U.S. treasuries and sending the dollar bills that they have in their vaults back to us, that's going to create a lot more supply to our money system, and that's going to cause hyperinflation. Now, right now, we're complaining about our current inflation rate. Hey, that's nothing. You think that you see inflation now? Wait until that event happens. Now we're talking Weimar Republic type inflation. Now we're talking Venezuela. Now we're talking Turkey. What would your life be like if the inflation rate goes to 100, 200, 300%? Have you thought about that? Have you started to prepare for that event? The people in the Hey Ed group, we're preparing for it. And we're not going to be victims. We're going to take advantage of it. And what has been my 3-part recommendation on my channel now for over 2 years? Number 1, reduce your exposure to your bank. Number 2, take some of that cash and put it into gold and silver. And number 3, establish streams of passive recurring income. Now, the first step I can't help you with. Okay, getting your money out of your bank, that's on you. I mean, I can't walk you to your bank and force you to get your money out. Okay. But the other 2 steps, getting some of that cash into gold and silver and establishing streams of passive recurring income. I do have programs that I can share with you that will help you accomplish those steps. Listen, the world is shifting under our feet as we speak. And if you're not paying attention because you're too busy living life, please take a little bit of time to learn about what's going on. One thing you can do is subscribe to my channel, and I will tell you the truth, and I will tell you what's going on. And you can always join the Hey Ed WhatsApp group. Shoot me an email, and I'll send you the link for the Hey Ed WhatsApp group. And if you're interested in some of the programs that I'm in, just, again, shoot me an email. We can talk on the phone. We can do a personal Zoom if you want. And I am going to start doing some live streams pretty soon. So if you'd like to know about them, click that alert bell. Please support my channel by giving me a like. Doesn't cost you anything. Ed Anderson, live from Minnesota, signing out.
Copy that.